life. Yeah, and it's fine. It doesn't upset anybody. People
Walking along Grand Union Canal. Some impressive hoarding.
Welcome to another episode of Toby Stupid Vlog.
The boat coming through the lock.
Toby, take some of those. They look so good. I was taking pictures. They look so
Goose watch.
juicy. It's weird, isn't it?
Mums don't get children.
Silly half hour?
All sorts of trouble.
That's right.
Keep them quiet.
It's generally.
Do you want to go back to mum?
Oh.
Do you want to go back to mum?
Oh, what's your problem? With the rocks.
So I was brought up in Yorkshire, and my uncle was a great entertainer at concert parties and things. He had these things, and when he died, he passed them all on to me. These stories about Albert. You've probably heard it. I've got two here, but
Double treat.
there's a famous seaside place called Blackpool that's noted for fresh air and fun. And Mr. and Mrs. Ramsbottom went there with young Albert, their son. The grand little lad with young Albert, all dressed in his best, quite a swell. He'd a stick with a horse's head handle, the best one that Wool's could sell. But I didn't think much of the ocean. The waves was fiddling and small. There were no wrecks, and nobody drowned. In fact, nothing to laugh at all. So seeking for further amusement, they paid and went into the zoo, where there were lions and tigers and camels, and old Leyland sandwiches too. There was one great big lion called Wallace, and his nose was all covered with scars, as he lay in a somnolent posture, roughly like, with the side of his face on bars. Now I always had heard about lions, and they was ferocious and wild. To see Wallace lying so peaceful, he didn't seem right to child, so straightway the brave little fellow, not showing a morsel of fear, took his stick with his horse's handle and gave Wallace a poke in the ear. You can see the lion didn't like it, but with giving a kind of a roll, he pulled Albert in a sight cage with him and swallowed the little lad whole. Then Pa, who had seen the occurrence and didn't know what to do next, said, "Hey, Ma, yon lion's at Albert." And Mother said, "Here I am vexed." Then Mr. and Mrs. Ramsbottom, quite rightly, when all said and done, complained to the animal keeper that lion and their son. The keeper was quite nice about it. He said, "What a nasty mishap. Are you sure it's your lad he's eaten?" I was sure. Here's his cap. The manager had to be sent for. He came and he said, "What's to do?" Pa said, "Yon lion's at Albert, and him in his Sunday clothes too." And Mother said, "Right, it's right, young fella. I think it's a shame of the sin for a lion to go and eat Albert after we've paid to come in." The manager wanted no trouble. He took out his purse right away, saying, "How much to settle the matter?" And Pa said, "What do you usually pay?" But Mother turned a bit awkward when she thought where Albert had gone. She said, "No, somebody's got to be summoned." So that was decided upon. So off they went to a police station in front of a magistrate chap. They said what had happened to Albert, and she proved it by showing his cap. The magistrate gave his opinion that no one was really to blame. He said he hoped the Ramsbottoms would have further sons to their name. That Mother got proper blazing. She said, "And thank you so kindly," said she, "what waste all my life raising children to feed ruddy lions, not me."
Welcome back to Rainy Kew. This is the period known as Crimbo Limbo, post-Christmas, pre-New Year, and yeah, we just got back. The Mortlake Road is completely congested. The weather is completely terrible, and we have nothing in the house. Well, that's not true. We're having a veggie day. We have nothing veggie in the house. We have meat galore. So we're going out to buy non-meat related things, and then we're going to have a couple of days of hibernating, and then return to normal in the new year. There we go. That is the second bread cottage pudding I made this Christmas. Panettone and custard pudding, I suppose, more accurately. Yeah, looks awesome, and it's going there. It's our late Christmas dinner. It's only a week late, like what we have made from things that we bought. Looks pretty fantastic. Well, it's an early Christmas dinner, I suppose, seeing as it's nearly 2014. We're only about 4.5 hours off. Either way, Christmas. You can hear the fireworks, you just can't see them. Happy New Year. Hello, may I be the first person on the internet to wish you Happy New Year. It's the 2nd of January. That period over Christmas, once Christmas is done and that whole waiting for New Year's thing, it just feels like a week of your life where it just, everything stops and nothing happens. So, yeah, it's nice. It's actually nice to be back to normality to a certain extent. I'm going to go for a walk because it's really sunny today. And I have lots of chores to do that I couldn't do whilst the banks were selfishly closed yesterday. So that is today's order of business. Plus, you know, I need to make some more bread and all the usual things that happen in a week. So one of the cool presents I got for Christmas this year from Crystal was these amazing tins, which Keegan's branded. There's lots of them. There are actually 4 of them in total. They fit inside each other. And finally got somewhere to put the bread that isn't in the slow cooker to keep it dry. The other present I got, I will be wearing very shortly, so you'll see. And it's 2014 now, so a couple of things you should know. Obviously, there is now an unlimited number of Romanians and Bulgarians who can come to work in the United Kingdom. Millions of them are going to come. I think 5 million was the number that was originally suggested. So Sky went down to Stansted today to see if they could find anyone who was Romanian and Bulgarian who's coming here to work and, you know, and steal our benefits and all that kind of nonsense. They found one person. I mean, I hate to say I told you so, but yeah, it's not happening. So which brings me on to point number 2, which is in May this year, it's the European elections. So just make sure you vote, please. I'm going to ask you this a lot. I only have one suggestion on who you should vote for, and that is anyone apart from UKIP and the BNP. So anybody else, literally anybody else. I don't care how bizarrely socialist they are or crazy conservatives. Doesn't bother me in the faintest as long as it's not either of those two. So knock yourself out. And the reason for my sort of mild bigotry there is because the BNP are obviously a group of racists. So I'd rather you didn't vote for them because they will discriminate against people on completely unreasonable grounds. I'm not sure there are any reasonable grounds to discriminate against people apart from maybe they're a member of the BNP. And secondly, UKIP have more bizarre policies than a sort of magic 8-ball. They want to take women's rights back to the 1950s. They claim that they're happy to take Syrian refugees as long as they're Christian. Just dangerously out of touch with normality. So please, anybody else. Monster Raving Looney, I hear they got some nice policies. And remember, not voting is not an option because UKIP voters always turn up. So you have to too. So this is item number 2. Walk backwards, there you go. It's my Mercedes Petronas F1 top. Nice. And we're also going around Silverstone as part of my Christmas present. At some point we're going on a tour around there, so that should be awesome. Very exciting indeed. So yes, 2014 has kicked off. I'm very happy. Well, the sun's actually very bright and Kew is surprisingly full, and these trees are still on their side. It's because there's lots of kids here because the schools presumably, I don't know, maybe they don't go back till Monday. It's quite possible. So it's kids at Kew Day. Anyway, I'm going to the bank. There's bound to be nobody there. This beautiful lake you can see is not technically a lake. It's this flooded stream. That's Mid-Surrey Golf Course, or rather it was, until it turned into a lake. Slight problem with the old deer park as well. It's an aqua dog. You'll notice that a good amount of the park has turned into a large lake, and the path that connects to the bridge has vanished entirely.